I'm 90 years old, and there is one goodbye I never said that still lives with me. I don't talk about it much, not because it isn't heavy, but because there's no place to put it down. At this age, you learn which memories will stay no matter how quietly you live. Most mornings, I sit by the window with my tea and watch the street wake up. People hurry, cars pass. Life keeps moving the way it always has. And I sit there thinking about how easily I once believed there would always be more time. I'm not telling this story to be remembered. I'm telling it because I'm running out of days, and some truths don't leave you unless you let them out. Her name was Evelyn. She was my sister. She was 6 years older than me, which meant she felt like an adult my whole childhood. She braided my hair too tight and told me to stop squirming. She defended me when others didn't. She had a sharp tongue but a soft center, and she felt things deeply, even when it cost her. I used to think she was too much, too emotional, too direct. Now I understand she was just honest. I married young. I was 22. His name was Frank. He wasn't a bad man. That's important to say. People want villains, but life usually gives you quieter problems. Frank was steady, predictable. He liked order and quiet. He liked dinner on time and opinions kept to a minimum. I liked that he chose me. I mistook that for safety. Evelyn never said outright that she disapproved, but she watched him closely. Once she said, "I hope he really sees you." I laughed it off. I didn't want questions. I wanted calm. That was the beginning of my mistake. Life filled up quickly after that. Children, work, bills, schedules, worries that stacked up quietly, one on top of another. I became very good at handling things. People relied on me. I took pride in that. Evelyn called often in those years, usually on Sundays. She'd tell me about her job at the library, the people she met, the books she loved. She noticed details. She remembered small things. She always asked how I was, and I always answered while doing something else. I folded laundry while we talked. I stirred pots. I wiped counters. I was listening, but I wasn't present. Sometimes I told her I'd call back. Sometimes I didn't. I told myself she understood. She was my sister. Sisters understand, don't they? She showed up anyway, with cookies, with knitted sweaters my kids never wore, with a book she said reminded her of me. I put that book on my nightstand and never opened it. There was always something more urgent. That's how neglect happens. Not through cruelty, but through delay. Frank didn't like her. He found her intrusive, too opinionated. I defended her at first. Then slowly, I stopped. Not because I agreed, but because it was easier. I told myself I was keeping the peace. Peace can cost more than conflict if you don't notice what you're giving up. There was one afternoon I still replay. Evelyn was at my kitchen table. Frank spoke sharply to me. She said quietly, "You don't deserve to be spoken to that way." Frank snapped. He told her it was his house. Evelyn stood up. She looked at me, not angry, just waiting. I knew what I should have done. I should have gone to her. I should have said something real. Instead, I said something small, something safe. "Let's all calm down." She nodded once and left. That was the last time we were truly close. We didn't fight after that. We just faded. Cards replaced visits. Short calls replaced conversations. Years passed like that. I told myself we were fine. We weren't. Evelyn never married. She didn't have children. Her life was quieter than mine, but it was full in its own way. She mattered to people. She listened. She remembered. When my mother died, we stood together at the funeral, holding hands. For a moment, I thought we'd find our way back. But grief passed, routines returned, and we didn't. That's the danger of routine. It convinces you tomorrow will come exactly the same as today. Then one Tuesday my phone rang. A neighbor from Evelyn's building. Her voice was careful. She said Evelyn had fallen. She'd hit her head. She was in the hospital. I drove there shaking. I couldn't find my keys even though they were right in front of me. I remember red lights and my hands gripping the wheel too hard. Evelyn was in a hospital bed when I saw her, smaller, pale, bruised, machines beeping softly beside her. I held her hand and talked, even though I didn't know if she could hear me. She woke once, just once. She looked at me and whispered, "You came." That was all. She died the next day. There was no final conversation, no closure, just a quiet room and a nurse saying she was sorry. Afterward, I went to her apartment. It smelled like her, books and soap and something floral she always used. On her table were letters, my letters, unopened. I sat there and opened them one by one. They were polite, brief, empty. She had kept them anyway. In her drawer, I found the book she gave me decades earlier, my name written inside, untouched. That's when the truth settled in. I hadn't lost her suddenly. I had lost her slowly, through postponement, through choosing ease over honesty, through assuming we had time. The goodbye I never said wasn't at the hospital. It was every visit I delayed, every call I shortened, every moment I chose not to be uncomfortable. Now, at 90, I understand something I didn't then. Some regrets don't come from failure. They come from waiting. You don't notice them building because they don't hurt at first. They just feel like life. If you're listening to this and there is someone you keep meaning to call, someone you assume will always be there, I want you to hear me clearly. I'm not telling you what to do. I'm telling you what I wish I had done. Say the thing while it can still be heard. Sit down when you talk. Let the moment be awkward if it needs to be. Don't confuse being busy with being present. I speak to Evelyn sometimes quietly when I'm alone. I tell her small things. I say I'm sorry, even though sorry doesn't reach the dead. I don't expect forgiveness. I only carry the truth. Time is not endless. Relationships don't survive on intention alone. And some goodbyes don't announce themselves. They wait for you to notice until it's too late.